All right. As the autograph song says, take no prisoners.
Yep.
The Southern California rock outfit burnt the candle at both ends, just releasing 3 studio albums.
Yep.
On RCA, the Record Cemetery of America, I believe they called it back then.
Yep.
So you guys were built for speed, although you were grouped mostly with hair metal bands.
Yeah, we were, which we weren't. We weren't. We were just a
You were
hard
much
rock
more-
band. We were a hard rock band. And a melodic rock.
I mean, if they had to put a label on it, AOR rock, you know, something mainstream.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think a lot of your stuff later was overlooked because you got lumped in with the hair
Yep,
bands.
yep. I agree.
So I first saw you guys open for Van Halen on the '84 tour.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Now, some 27 years later, the band once again wants everybody to turn it up.
Mm-hmm.
So without any more ramblings from me and hard and fast, I'll give you autograph. So tell us, who's in the band now?
Right now, it's me and Steve Lynch. We're the original members of that are in this band now. And we have Simon Daniels, who was in Jailhouse and Flood. The minute we saw his video, we knew that that's the guy we wanted to have, because Steve Plunkett doesn't want to play live anymore. Because we asked him first to do this for us, and he said, nah, I don't want to do it. I'm too busy right now.
He's busy on 7th Heaven.
Yeah, he's absolutely in 7th Heaven. And he's still writing stuff like that and making a lot of freaking money. And then we had Kenny for a while, our drummer, and he just turned out to be a mess. He couldn't even show up to rehearsals. He had no passport, he had no driver's license, and couldn't even find rehearsal place. And he played 30 minutes out of a 4-hour rehearsal play.
So now, you guys talk to Plunk, does he still have the hair?
No, he's got really short hair now.
Really?
Yeah, he's a very much a businessman now. Very much a businessman now.
Cool. So, did you guys know that Ish was sick?
No, I had no idea.
Really?
I just heard he was dead.
No kidding.
That sucked. It really sucked, because I would have loved to have, at least come and give him a kiss and say goodbye. At least.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Plunkett knew. He didn't tell us. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. Just a little bit.
Jeez. Now, you pretty much answered my next question, with no disrespect to Mark. Is the door ever open for Kenny,
No,
should he want to
no,
come?
he's unbelievably irresponsible and physically not there. Physically not there.
So now, what have you guys been up to? I mean, you've been gone a while. All
Right,
of a
we
sudden, you're back.
Well, what it is we all have businesses. All 4 of us, we all have businesses, and we own businesses. And what happened is in 2011, me and Lynch hooked up at the NAMM show in LA. We hadn't seen each other for 23 years, and immediately that friendship came back. Immediately. And there was a girl named Kamiko, who's my girlfriend now, who
Right.
was his friend in Seattle, because he lives in Seattle. And she kind of put the worm in both of our heads, to start playing again. And yeah, that's what happened.
So now, you were working with what, leather stuff?
I still work with leather stuff. I have a company called Wolfwear, and it's
Wolfwear?
Yeah, it's really high-end dog collars, like Swarovski crystals and Italian leathers and really expensive dog collars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So now, 27 years, so that was the time, just that meeting was the spark to
Yeah,
put you
it was.
guys back together?
Yeah.
Cool. So now you guys, in the metal community even, had a huge following. I mean, getting a break with Van Halen, Motley Crue,
Yeah,
Ozzy.
it was a Cinderella story. It really was, man. It was just crazy how cool it was.
So now, how can you just walk away from that? What
Because
happened?
grunge came in, and Epic wanted to sign us after RCA dumped us, and that's where Missing Pieces came in. That was our demos for Epic Records. But me and Lynch looked at it and said, "Do you want to do this anymore?" I said, "No, because there's no audience there anymore. It's all grunge, and there's no anyone that was in the '80s bands were Poison at that point,
Yeah.
and it was just we couldn't work." So it wasn't that we wanted to quit; it's just that we really couldn't. It's like we had a name, we had names from the '80s, and no one would hire us. No one. So we
Right.
had to go on and do other stuff. We had to. We didn't want to. Trust me.
So now, Plunk being the big guy behind the scenes now, every time I see a rerun of Seventh Heaven, I'm like, wow, did you guys know he had that success in him?
The first, no, of course I did, because the guy, when we used to sit down and write songs, he would always tell us we were wrong and he was right. And he's just a songwriter guy.
Right.
You know? The only song that we all as a band really wrote together was Turn Up the Radio. And it's like, and he had no word about it. It's just because me and Lynch started playing, one day we were just jamming, and we're doing like, feels like the first time, groove, boom, 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 feels like the first time. But it's like, Lynch goes, I got this riff. So me and Lynch were like doing that, and then Kenny came in and he started playing. 45 minutes later, that freaking song was written.
Wow.
And then RCA did not want to release it. Did not want to release it.
So now, did you ever hear Plunk's solo album?
Yeah, I hated it. It's horrible.
Really?
As far as I was concerned, it was horrible.
It's non-memorable to me. I can't
That's
tell
what
you
I'm
a
saying.
track off of it.
It's like I know him. I know how good of a writer he is, and he called that one in. I don't know what the hell that was all about.
What label was that on? Do you know?
Probably some German label.
I remember interviewing him for it.
Yeah. It's
So
like,
now,
don't get me wrong. I love Plunkett. Me and him were in Wolfgang from 73 to 79, and then I went off and did the Offenders, the Lawyers at Lita Ford, and then I came back to Autograph. But I've known him for professionally probably about 20 years.
wow.
We played together a lot. So I don't want to disrespect that man. He is a talented motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
He really is.
So now, you guys did the Monsters of Rock cruise last year?
Yeah.
Now, how was that for you guys?
It was a fucking blast. It was really freaking great.
Now,
It was great.
up until that point, did you plan on keeping the band going? Or
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it
no,
just-
we-
Were you building to that point?
No,
that-
we decided, that's why Kenny's not in the band. We decided that we wanted to play at least anywhere from 40 to 100 shows a year, or maybe or more if we can get it. And we needed people that could be there for us.
Mhm.
And Monsters of Rock was the first gig that we had before the band was even put together. That was given to us. He said, if you guys want to get together, you have Monsters of Rock cruise. And we said, okay. So that's where we started from. That was our
Nice.
very first book deal.
Nice. All right, let's cut it here and we'll do a second part so
Okay,
I
cool.
don't run too long.